We asked Pep Guardiola to manage a team in the lower leagues. Pep Guardiola is arguably one of the most successful managers in modern football, if he's not already the most successful. He's had outstanding achievements with FC Barcelona, winning the Champions League twice and dominating La Liga, putting 5 past Real Madrid on one occasion. Many doubted that Guardiola's philosophy and style of play could thrive elsewhere, and his spell at Bayern Munich almost proved and supported the case. Pep Guardiola missed out on the Champions League, but he dominated the Bundesliga. Since his move to Manchester City in 2017, Pep Guardiola dominated the Premier League and transformed modern football. In this video, we're going to try to take his philosophy to the lower leagues and try to implement it for a team that has won only one trophy outside of non-league football. Exeter City are a club located in Devon. The Grecians have only a Skybet League 2 trophy to their name, which they won in 1989-90 season, long before I was born. This is the first part of our Exeter tactical rebuild, and no doubt this will be a difficult challenge. The objective is to transform a lower league side using Pep Guardiola's tactical philosophy, mainly but not limited to the 2008 to 2012 periods when he managed Barcelona. We're open to borrowing and implementing new systems from the Manchester City approach, but the core of the system will reference Barcelona's elite side from 2009 and 2011 Champions League winning teams. No pressure. By the end of this video, we'll sort out our squad for our key players that will help us implement this tactic. We're also going to try to sign the right coaches, and we'll also review our objectives for the season and try to sort out our shape, and by shape I mean the formation. But for the tactical philosophy, we're going to do that in the next episode, so do well to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so you can get notified when more videos do come out on this series. Observe how my players perform in the first few friendlies, so it helps us actually implement the tactic and build on our tactical philosophies. So we'll start with the backroom staff, and looking at the current group of coaches that we have 5 coaches, so we're not really going to worry too much about signing coaches, and there's room for one more, so I think we can get a performance analyst to help us analyze games. We need a director of football and 2 scouts to actually help us recruit the right group of players, and also to look at the opposition to help us with analyst reports. My search begins for a performance analyst, and the key attributes here are analyzing data and of course tactical knowledge. But going on to press OK, there's literally nobody that I can sign in this list, so we're going to have to tone that down a bit. 14. Oh, Stephen O'Brien. That looks like an interesting prospect. Ooh, I like this. So let's see what we can do here. Finalize deal. Very good. Exit talk. So we got our latest performance analyst. Our new signing is Steve O'Brien. He's quite stacked too. Good tactical knowledge and good analyzing of data. His preferred formation is 4-3-3. Our next objective is looking at the squad and seeing who our top players are. So I do like the group of players that we have, trying to filter them by current ability. We see that Ryan Trevitt is coming in on loan from Brentford. He's a good metaller as well, so he's also a right-footed player, so we probably want to play him in the Iniesta role. But in this sense, we're going to have the Iniesta role playing on the right-hand side. That's if we're going to use Ryan Trevitt in that role. I don't have another DM. Okay, there's Harry Kite in here, but he's injured currently at the moment. He's a good ball-winning midfielder. He has better marking than Ryan Trevitt, so it depends on what we're going to do. We've also got Reece Cole, and he's also lacking in marking. He's a central midfielder on attack duty, also playing on the right. So there's a bit of a headache with who is going to play on the left-hand side for us in midfield. My only striker is Jack Aitchison. He's not the fastest, but his passing could do. His vision could also use a bit of work, but he's not the ideal kind of striker you want to use as a false 9 Lionel Messi style striker. So we're going to have to figure out something for him. Admiral Musque is another interesting player on loan from Luton Town. He has good pace and good acceleration. He's ideally going to play on the left-hand side for us, but he has the ability to play as the cut inside false 9, pressing forward on support duty. He has good passing and, well, okay vision, I guess. Okay passing too. We'll try and figure out where we can fit these players into our system. So preparing for our friendlies, I'm just going to sort out training real quick, starting from the rest schedules. The Tiki-Taka possession, extreme possession, it's very high intensity, so we're going to demand double intensity training for my players to get up to speed. But when there's, when they're very low on fitness, low on sharpness, it's to just remove the half intensity and just turn it to pitch or no pitch and gym work, and then half intensity for players that are at least half bar in fitness, and then normal intensity for players that have slightly above half and then double intensity for the other group of players. Everybody else that is fit can go on double intensity. We will meet Arsenal at some point and Aston Villa as well, so that's quite a tough preseason already, but it's interesting to see how our philosophy is going to work against top teams. Going into my tactics, I will talk about tactics in detail in the next video, but for now we can see that Tiki-Taka is actually a recommendation for my assistant manager, so that's good. I can actually use it as a template for building on the other tactics that I'm actually going to bring on for my team. Positive, and this is actually going to serve as a very good template to help us implement our Tiki-Taka system. So going into the formation, there's a 5-2-3 system here. Not so bad, but I can use that as a starting template for Exeter City, and then I can go on and build my own Tiki-Taka system just beside this one, and then I can go on to choose the same Tiki-Taka philosophy, but this time I'm going to choose a 4-3-3 formation because I'm trying to implement the Barcelona system here for Exeter City. And then using the 4-3-3, you can go ahead and tweak the roles to suit the certain players that are in the team that can actually play in those roles. I already like the choice of a deep line forward on attack duty. This is how we're going to start our first few friendlies, just to see how the team gels with the Tiki-Taka system. To see our objectives for the season, here is the club vision, and they've been asking us to work within the budget. So of course I can already see that I don't need to buy anybody. I'm not planning to buy anybody. Try and grow the club's reputation. That's not very difficult, or it could be very difficult in this game depending, but we've been asked to finish in mid-table in the Sky Bet League 1, also be competitive in the FA Cup and in the Carabao Cup, also reach the knockout stages of the Bristol St. Motors Trophy. I'm going to assume this is the English FA Trophy, so we're going to do our best to try and, compete in that competition. Yep, accept the current vision, that's fine. I've signed my director of football, and I'm looking at Joe Horwath as a good candidate for head of youth development. He has good working with youngsters ability, and his judging player ability and potential is something I don't really like, but he has a great personality as well, and he also has Continental A license, so he's one of the head of youth development candidates that I'm going to want to experiment with and sign, just to see how well he produces good wonder or just good young players in general. So we're going to go ahead and switch this to coaching, and then take off the promotion wage rise and try to reduce that, and then try to suggest, okay, once 1.1k, we're going to be ready to pay that, to be honest. We analyze the exit talks. The board has agreed that I can get a set piece coach. Wonderful. Kyle Davey is our choice for set piece coaches. He has set piece 13, which is quite high because most of the time I've been playing Football Manager, most of the set piece coaches that I see don't even have up to 10. So having somebody that has set pieces 13 is quite good. Level of discipline 15, I will work with that. Also, he has a good personality and a Continental Pro license. The first friendly against Basham was a bit one-sided, but that was good because it allowed us to experiment and bring on a lot of players, give a lot of players playing time, and gave some of the youth players as well. I did a lot of substitutions in that game, but it helped us score a lot of goals as well. The second one could have been just as one-sided as the first one, but in reverse. We were playing against Arsenal next, and then in the first few minutes it actually went ahead 2-0. I noticed that I was playing on a positive mentality, and just for curiosity's sake, I actually kept all the tactical instructions the same in team instructions and player instructions, but I changed the team mentality from positive to cautious, and then that kind of limited the amount of chances that Arsenal had. It did get us a goal back in that game, but then I switched all the way from cautious to defensive mentality for the remaining 25 minutes of the game, and then Arsenal didn't actually go on to score. The game finished 2-1, and you can see the XG graph here. Arsenal actually dominated the entire game, but we somehow snuck a goal in there in the 64th minute, and we're able to just hold on to that goal. One chance, one goal, it was enough. It's a friendly. We didn't need to get battered like 4-0 against Arsenal, and we did our best, so that was good. Our next friendly is against Aston Villa, and for this game I'm actually going to use my version of the extreme Tiki-Taka tactic with a 4-3-3 and try to create a system for my Exeter City. Not a preset, just a Tiki-Taka version of what I feel from my understanding to be Pep Guardiola's elite 2009 or 2011 Barcelona Tiki-Taka system. So that's what we're going to use against Aston Villa. But in order to build that, that's going to be part 2 of this video, the next episode. So thanks for sticking by for this long. This is the end of part 1 of this video. We'll go on to build that tactic in episode 2, and then we'll go on to see how the tactic actually works out against Aston Villa and how we're going on to do. And then we might end up starting the season part 2 as well. So just stay tuned. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.